The hidden room behind the closet. When Claire Thompson inherited her grandmother's old house, she expected a quiet escape from city life, a place to write, breathe, and recover after a difficult breakup. Nestled at the edge of a fog-shrouded town in northern Vermont, the house stood with stoic charm, untouched since her grandmother's passing. From the outside, it was quaint. 3 floors, dark wooden panels, and ivy climbing the outer walls. Inside, it smelled of lavender and dust, but something else lingered in the air. A mustiness not from age, but neglect, or perhaps concealment. On her 3rd day in the house, Claire began clearing out the upstairs bedroom to convert it into an office. As she slid aside a heavy oak wardrobe to access the back wall, something caught her eye. A thin line in the paneling that shouldn't be there. She leaned in. Faint seam, a rectangle the size of a door, had been painted over poorly. Claire tapped it. Hollow, what the hell? Driven by curiosity and that writer's instinct that whispered story, she fetched a crowbar from the shed. The air was dry and unnaturally cold, like it hadn't been disturbed in years, maybe decades. On the floor sat a child-sized rocking chair and a stuffed bear, mold Iton and eyeless. The corner, a crumbling mattress, lay covered in thin bedding. Behind it was a narrow wooden door, completely unmarked. No handle, no lock. It didn't take much. The panel cracked open with a splintering groan. She hesitated. Then she pushed. The door creaked inward, revealing a dark, narrow passage, dust dancing in the beam of her phone flashlight. She stepped in. It wasn't just a crawl space. It was a room. Small, square, maybe 8 by 8 feet. The walls were bare wood. Claire's chest tightened. Why would someone build a room and hide it? She whispered. She noticed scratch marks along the wooden floor, and carved into one wall, jagged and frantic. Let me out. Cold drafts rushed through sealed windows. She began to hear faint humming, like a child's lullaby, echoing through the walls at night. It was brittle, pages yellowed and stained. The writing was that of a child, desperate, erratic. They say I'm sick, but I'm not. The walls. Listen, I hear scratching. I'm not alone. That night, she barely slept. Around 3:17 a.m., she was awakened by a faint noise. Wood creaking in a slow, rhythmic motion. A distant squeak. ... squeak. ... squeak ... The sound of a rocking chair. Claire sat up, heart pounding, away. She walked to the closet, flashlight trembling in her hand. She opened the hidden door. Of a child sitting cross-legged on the mattress, whispering to the walls. Then the walls whispered back. The room was empty. An orphanage, maybe? There were ... rumors. Except now, the bear was sitting upright in the chair. A woman in her 80s, who had lived on the street for decades. One boy, especially Thomas, they said he was different, quiet, said he heard things in the dark. He was locked away. Some say he never left. Over the following days, the house began to change. Faded news clipping confirmed it. Boy missing from group home, 1954. Name Thomas Langdon. Lights flickered. One morning, Claire found a journal tucked beneath a floorboard in the hidden room. Soft. Her breath fogged inside her bedroom. The heater worked, but not in that part of the house. They put me here because I talked to the wrong people, but they don't know the voices talk back. The room keeps me quiet. Then, she sat in the hidden room, locket flashlight in hand, determined to understand. He lives in the corner. He watches when the light goes out. Claire closed the book, chilled to her core. That night as she slept, she dreamed of the room. When she awoke, her closet door was wide open. She called her neighbor, Mrs. Halley. When Claire mentioned the hidden room, Mrs. Halley's voice dropped to a whisper. Your grandmother never used that room. No one did. When she bought the house, they told her it had been built over the remains of something older. What kind of rumors? Children went missing? Claire pressed further, researching archives at the town library. She found a photo, pale, gaunt, dark eyes. He couldn't have been more than 9. That night, Claire placed a baby monitor inside the hidden room. At 3 a.m., static hissed. Then, a low voice, raspy. I never left. The next day, she returned to the room and found something new. A crayon drawing pinned to the wall. It hadn't been there before. A crude sketch of a tall figure with no face, long fingers and wide eyes, standing behind a smaller boy. Beneath it, he's still here. The cold grew worse. Claire wore sweaters indoors.
Odd.
And the faint sound of a rocking chair, slowly moving back and forth. In a room no one should ever have found. She tried to nail the hidden door shut. The next morning, it was open. On the final night, she made a decision. She whispered, "Thomas, what do you want?" "Don't answer." Just the creaking of the chair. Then the flashlight died. Pitch darkness. Then breathing. She turned, heart racing. A voice behind her. "He's in the walls." Suddenly, something ice cold gripped her ankle. She screamed, kicking free, crawling backward. Her flashlight flickered back to life. The room was empty, but scratched across the far wall was a new message. "Now you know." Claire left the house the next morning. She never went back. She never sold it. Sometimes she receives mail addressed to someone named Thomas. Every so often in the middle of the night, she dreams of the closet door creaking open. The end. Follow and support for more, if you dare.